All right, let's get right into it. We're going to talk about what is actually going on inside your head when you decide to skip out on sleep. And look, this isn't about scary bedtime stories. This is the real science behind why your brain feels like it's just running on empty.
You know the feeling, right? You're staring blankly at your computer screen. You've reread the same sentence, like 12 times now? You walk into the kitchen, open the fridge, and have absolutely no idea why you're there. And the whole time, you're telling yourself, I'm fine. I need more coffee.
Well, let's get real for a second. Your brain, it is not fine. In that moment, it's basically setting up a massive SOS flare. It is screaming for help, and it's about time we all learned how to listen.
So all those moments of brain fog, they're not just some random glitch in the system. Nope, that's a symptom of your brain literally switching into a low-power, survival-only mode. Let's dig into what that actually means.
First off, we have to completely change how we think about sleep. It is not just downtime. It's not passive rest. It's an active, absolutely critical maintenance cycle. While you're sleeping, your brain is working overtime, cleaning out toxic gunk, repairing itself, and crucially, locking in your memories. So when you skip that maintenance cycle, you're essentially choosing between two very different brains. On one side, you've got the surviving brain. You know this one. Its reaction time is slow, focus is a joke, and it feels like it's constantly buffering. Then on the other side, you have the thriving brain. It's sharp, it's clear, it's fast. I mean, which one would you rather have running your life?
17. Just a number, right? What if I told you that number is the key to understanding just how badly one long day can mess with your head?
That's the number of hours you have to be awake for your cognitive performance to be basically the same as someone who is legally drunk. Yeah, just a regular long day can impair your judgment and your reaction time that much. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
You ever study all night for a test, and then the next day, nothing? It's all gone? Well, that's because sleep is when your brain actually hits the save button on information, moving it into long-term storage. Without sleep, your brain is like a faulty USB drive. You can try to save new files, but they're just not going to stick.
And it's not just about thinking and memory. Oh no. Sleep deprivation completely yanks away your brain's emotional filter. And, things can get messy.
Think of it this way. Your prefrontal cortex, the logical part of your brain, that's the calm parent saying, okay, let's just think this through. Your amygdala, the fear center, is a toddler having a full-on meltdown in the candy aisle. When you're sleep deprived, that parent is exhausted and weak, and the toddler is running absolutely feral. The part of you that says calm down is offline, and the part that screams panic is suddenly in charge.
So what does that look like in real life? It's when a tiny problem feels like an absolute catastrophe. A small comment from someone feels deeply personal. It's that dramatic, late-night thought spiral where you are completely convinced your entire life is ruined.
But then, what happens after just one good night of sleep? You wake up and you realize, oh, right, it wasn't that serious at all. That calm, rational perspective comes rushing back as soon as your brain's control center is back online.
So, the most important point here is this. Sleep isn't just for resting your body. It is your emotional armor. It protects you from those anxiety spikes and keeps your reactions from flying off the handle.
So far, we've mostly been talking about the short-term effects. But what happens when one bad night turns into a habit? Let's look at the serious, long-term damage that piles up over time.
It's a pretty simple, but honestly, a kind of scary process. Every single day, your brain cells go through normal wear and tear. At night, sleep is supposed to be the repair crew that fixes all that DNA damage. But if you consistently skip that repair shift, the damage doesn't get fixed. It just piles up, day after day after day.
Neglecting sleep is literally like driving a car for years without ever taking it in for an oil change or a tune-up, and then being totally shocked when it breaks down on the highway. You are setting yourself up for a major failure down the road. Now, let's be super clear. One bad night of sleep is not a catastrophe. Your brain's going to be annoyed, you'll feel off, but you'll recover. The real problem, the real danger is chronic poor sleep. That's when your brain goes from just being annoyed to being in genuine danger.
Okay, we've seen the problem loud and clear. So now it's time to pivot to the solution. And it really involves stopping this constant fight we have against our own biology.
When we're tired and unfocused, what do we usually reach for? We try to just force more motivation. We try to be more disciplined. Or we just chug another cup of coffee. These are all the wrong tools. You're just pushing a system that's already completely exhausted.
The real tool, the most powerful and effective tool that you have at your disposal is simply better sleep. It is the foundation that makes everything else actually work. Because look at what you get in return. A well-rested brain isn't lazy, it's optimized. It learns way faster than you thought it could. It thinks with this amazing clarity. It feels calmer and way more resilient to stress. And it consistently makes better, smarter decisions. Your brain starts working with you, not against you.
So if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this mantra. Don't hustle harder, sleep smarter. True high performance isn't about sacrificing sleep to get more done. It's about using sleep as a strategic weapon to make you better at everything you do. The question isn't how little can you get by on, but how much better can you be when you're truly rested.